Good morning, you guys. Hi, Linda. How are you? Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, please? Great. Thank you. So I'm gonna wait just for a few minutes, and it won't be long, and then I'll just go ahead and start. Um, First of all, welcome and good morning. I moved my computer to a different room, so hopefully you guys can see and hear. And if I look up or have to pull my glasses, it's because I can't see. But anyway, hopefully everybody's doing really great on their weight loss challenge. I want to talk to you guys, first of all, about a couple of things that people have asked me to discuss, and then kind of get some questions in reference to like what challenges you guys are having and how I can assist. Because I want to do the best I can to assist you, because it's not, of course, weight loss is not easy, because it's not like you can just absolutely stop eating. So I'm going to let's say 2 minutes. I'm going to let other people come in the room, and then we can get started. So good morning. So on a different note, while I'm waiting on people, I hit 10,000 subscribers this morning. Yay, go Val, go Val. Thank you guys so much for that. I'm really excited about it. I really want to, me and Ron, really want to help grow this channel so we can help people in different ventures. And of course, there's my story time, just because I got to, I use you guys for therapy. So thank you so much for subscribing. If you have any thoughts about what you'd like me to discuss or talk about, let me and Ron know, and we absolutely will do that. But it's really exciting. I'm excited to just kind of share what I think to be interesting content in reference to Ron and I, and the way the world is kind of set up and all the division, just kind of showing that you don't have to, people can be different. And doesn't have to be divisiveness. So I'm really excited about that. And then of course, I talk about my hair, and I haven't talked about that much lately, simply because, at some point you don't talk pretty much all you can do. And I don't really do styles. This is kind of as fancy as it gets for me, braid outs, twist outs, or whatever. But I do have several playlists. If you want to go on my page to actually see the different playlists, depending upon what your interests are. But if there's something you want me to cover, please let me know, even if it's not something that's necessarily on my playlist. If it's within my knowledge, I'll absolutely cover it. Knowledge is power, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Hopefully other people will come in, but regardless, I'll go ahead and get started with the weight challenge. And what I almost want to do, and I'm trying to think about it, do like a little giveaway at the end of the challenge. And I know everybody has issues where you might fall down today, but I'm going to encourage you to get back up tomorrow, because this is a journey. Again, we did not get to the point that we are in one day, and it's not to break those habits. And one of my thumbnails on the live now is, healthy habits. That's what I want to work on this 6 weeks, 12 weeks, the actual healthy habits we can develop. So when we get out of this 12 weeks, that we're going on to another phase of what we need to do. So we're not constantly, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. Maintaining is a beautiful thing. And as much as I love food, and again, food necessarily is not my weakness. My weakness is sweet wine. I've said that tons of times. Anytime I gain any kind of weight, it's because I'm drinking sweet wine. Because when I start drinking sweet wine, then I just eat junk. And it's like, okay, so whatever. So I pretty much have to stop that when I want to be consistent. And I can be consistent, honestly, for years at a time. But, so one of the things I want to talk about, or somebody asked me about, is what do you do when you're an emotional eater? Like, something to combat that emotional eating. So one of the things I can suggest is find another outlet. If you already know you're an emotional eater, Find another outlet, because life will happen. You're going to go through some emotions, some things are going to happen. So find another outlet to deal with those emotions, but find it ahead of time. Like, I already know, again, I'm sweet wine drinker. So if I know, like, there's no wine in my house, I can't have it, because I'll do that, right? I'll go and drink some wine and then go to sleep, and that's my thing. That's what causes my weight gain, if I've ever gained weight. I have constantly, no matter what pictures I show, I've always exercised, always, even during when I got bigger. So one of the things I don't dwell on in reference to this challenge is necessarily the exercise, and exercising is very important. So I'm not minimizing that, but you can't out exercise bad eating habits. And I don't care what anybody says, I give you real honest information. And I have a lot of knowledge in it, because just studying and things of that nature, is that you're going to have to deal with that everyday eating. Absolutely. Exercise will keep you, make you heart healthy. It'll help you with like the aesthetics, what you want your body to look like. But if you have a layer of fat around these muscles or around that curve, you're not going to even see them, right? So we're going to have to deal with the food first. Good morning, you guys. Welcome. Come on in. We're going to have to actually deal with the food first. So that's what I want to kind of deal with during this period of time, is how we're going to deal with the food. So one of the things, like I said, in emotional eating, is have things around the house already prepared to eat. So Ron made fun of the fact that I cook so much, but a lot of the cooking I do, and I cook and freeze. I don't cook and throw away or anything like that, because I think somebody said, you can give it to college kids. And that's not what I do. I actually cook and freeze the food. So when I need to run and grab something, it's already handy. Because if I don't have food already handy and I'm a foodie, I want to get junk. It just is what it is. So junk is not around my house because I don't buy it, but I know how to go to a store and get it, or how to go to a fast food place and actually, pick up something that is not healthy. And thank God, I really don't do fast food at all. I probably, honestly, will do fast food once every 3 months, maybe. Again, I've told you my issue, but everybody have different devices and where they go when they need to, when they get stressed, if they're an emotional eater or if they're a foodie. So I'm going to say, find some food that you can either really work on the seasonings with, that are healthy and that actually fit your caloric intake, what you actually need to take in for the day. One of the things I know is if you have tons of food that you don't like, you're not going to stick to the diet. You're not going to stick to and I hate to even call it a diet, but I'm going to say the healthy eating plan. If you have tons of food that you don't like, but you're trying to do it to lose weight, I promise you, you will ultimately end up gaining weight after this is over, because you don't like it. Nobody's going to stick to things that they don't like for long periods of time. So during this time, let's sample with grilling food, different seasonings that you can use, baking food. Try to use just healthy ingredients. I try to, when I go shopping, get things that don't have many different ingredients in it, so it doesn't have the hidden chemicals and things of that nature, like oatmeal. I'll just buy oatmeal, so I don't buy maybe those oatmeal in the little packets. And I'm not knocking that, because I actually love them. I just know that they have hidden sugars in there and they have other things in there that I really don't need in reference to my body. So I'll just buy the regular kind of oatmeal that you cook. Or the same thing with meat. I'll go to the store and actually buy some fresh meat as opposed to something that's frozen and processed and ready to go, where I could throw it in the microwave. So there's a lot of things you can do to kind of cut down on some of the hidden calories that we have on an ongoing basis. But you have to have the food handy. And if you're on a weight loss challenge or journey, we're not really good at having the food handy. So you have to have the food handy, and it has to be something that you can kind of like. So one of the things people used to tell me is, I get bored with eating the same things. Here's the deal. You'll eat the same things if you're going to McDonald's every day and just don't complain because you really like that food. Or if you're going to, I don't know, Chick-fil-A or wherever you're going. And not saying that some of these places don't have like a healthy menu, but it's not the eating the same foods every day necessarily that's throwing you off is that you want certain things. And I get it, because I do too. So when I actually cook, and I cook these large volumes, I don't cook large volumes of one meal. I honestly may cook 3 meals in a weekend. So I can kind of switch it off. And then when I don't want those 3 meals, I have like, something else in the fridge that's like really quick, a salad I can put together or something like that. So the key to staying in shape and, kind of losing the weight is have this stuff accessible to you so you don't set yourself up to fail. And that's the same thing when you're on the go. I get a lot of questions about people saying that, I'm on the run a lot, my work, things of that nature. So I used to do that too. Right now I'm working from home. That's why I have a little bit more flexibility. But before, when I was probably in the best shape of my life, I was actually going to the office every day. And one of the things I used to pack with me, and I don't know if y'all know this, ever heard of like a 6-pack bag? Let me know if you have. And that's just one of the brands, but there's many other brands that you can do. But actually, this is a bag that you can kind of freeze, parts of the bag, put your food in there, and your food will literally stay cold. It's, to me, and some of them are big. The one I had was big, but they now make smaller ones where you're really like walking around with a carrying refrigerator, basically. Because I could have that bag, I could put, freeze the parts of that bag at night, go to the office, and my food would stay cold like it was in the refrigerator all day. And my bag would be in the office, but my food would stay cold. So I literally just have to put my food out and put it in the microwave. So if somebody mentioned, they only eat seafood. That's fine. I used to eat tons of tilapia, tons of grilled salmon, things of that nature, and they were still cold. Yes, you got to buy a little extra or maybe put it in the refrigerator at the office. But let's say you're a person that travels from place to place, okay? So if you are doing that, you might have it just in the car where you could stop it like a convenience store, because they'll let you use their microwave to warm up your food so your food is handy. So there's ways of doing this as opposed to thinking of ways that it'll fail, if that makes sense. If you want it bad enough, it's not going to be easy. When I'm ever on a fitness journey, a fitness challenge, it's never been easy because I like to eat and I like the different flavors. That's why I mess with so many seasonings and things of that nature. And I see a comment, and I got 2 screens up. So if I look away, I'm looking at the bigger screen because I don't have my glasses. But in reference to kind of giving you guys ideas of things that, that I actually prepare. And again, right now, because I don't want to ever tell you something that is not accurate that I'm doing at the time. I want to always be transparent with that. So right now I'm actually doing kind of just a protein kind of fast thing. And that's just for this 10 days. And after I get off this 10 days, then I will go into more of a keto-ish diet for the rest of this 12 weeks. But I can tell you just verbally some of the stuff I used to do prior to this protein is I would grill chicken breasts. I would, get several of them at a time, grill them, I cut them in half. And again, when you eat, if you eat in smaller portions, but you eat more often, it will still keep you kind of full and you don't feel like super hungry. Like you don't have to eat 3 times a day. You can eat 5 times a day, but have smaller portions. Now I got to the point, especially when, and I think I said that I used to compete before, they had me on a schedule of eating 6 times a day. I got so tired of eating and my portions were small. I just got tired of chewing. And I never thought that would happen because I'm such a foodie. So it might be something that you want to play with in reference to if you're the person that constantly needs to feel like you need something in your mouth or feel like you need something to eat, then let's go for smaller, healthier portions as opposed to 3 meals a day. Long as we still stay within the caloric intake or deficit, you're still good. So you can play with what you need to do in reference to eating. I personally can't give you like a blanket diet. I can tell you what works for me. And I think in the first video in the description, I had some like tips in reference to weight loss that you could try. But to me, when somebody gives you a blanket diet, is not catered toward you because everybody has different health issues. Everybody has different needs. Things of that nature. I can tell you how many calories you have to be in a deficit to lose weight. But you might have some specific things going on that I would kind of have to talk to you one-on-one about, or you need to talk to your doctor kind of one-on-one about. So that's kind of why I can't give you just a blanket diet, but I definitely can give you some tips in reference to how to help you lose the weight. So the first thing, like I said, is prepare your meals. So what I used to do is prepare my meals on Sunday. So let's say today, if I was doing the keto right now, today I would go shopping for whatever it is I wanted during the week, right? And then I would prepare these 3 meals, and I'd prepare them, like literally I prepare them and freeze them, in those little freezer containers that I got at like the grocery store that was really cheap. So I pull them out. It looks like, someone told me about, why don't you try HelloFresh? When I prepare my food, it's like HelloFresh, right? I pull it out and I'm ready to go. And it's cheaper, but that's one of the things that work for me. The food is always there and it's handy. Let's see, I've been eating. Okay, so great. You lost 5 pounds in the last 2 weeks. That is absolutely wonderful. So I'm gonna tell you, slow progress is better than no progress, right? And to me, 5 pounds in 2 weeks is excellent. That's not slow progress. Was it Shakayla? So I hope I'm saying it right. If I jack up names, trust me, I don't mean anything by it. Again, I don't have my glasses. So, but that is good. If you work on creating these healthy eating habits, then after this 12 weeks, you still can keep going. What I don't want, and what a lot of people do, is they'll do, let's say, a 12-week challenge, right? They'll lose all this weight. And this is how we get to the yo-yo. And so as soon as the challenge is over, they'll go back to the regular eating. The problem with that is the regular eating is what got you to the size that makes you want to lose weight, right? So you're going to have to get to the place where you say, okay, I can maybe switch it, maybe not be as strict because the 12-week challenge is over, but and add, a little bit of something here or there, but still be consistent. And again, the key is finding food that you like and you can tolerate. If you don't like the food, I promise you won't stick to it. You just will not. So you find different seasonings. And again, honestly, I bet I have like 200 seasonings in the house. My favorites probably are about 15, but I probably have 200 simply because I try different things just in case I get bored. I'm like, okay, so let me try this seasoning this time on the chicken and maybe it'll taste a little different, or this seasoning on the fish, or, whatever it is I'm eating, so it's just trying some different things in reference to that. So one of the questions is, should you cut out wheat? So I'm gonna tell you, it really does depend upon the kind of diet or health plan that you're on. So what happens, and I talked about this in the last live, when your body can only burn, or really only burns, one energy source at a time. And what that means is that if you're giving, wheat is carbs. And again, the stuff I'm saying cut out, I'm not saying it's not healthy. I am saying that it depends upon what your goal is, right? So for me, I don't do wheat, I don't do flour, I don't do, my carbs are very low right now. Excuse me. Not saying that it will stay that way, but for right now, it's very low because I don't want my body to use the normal carbs as an energy source. I want to force my body, because again, I'm about to get Instagram fine and be halfway naked on Instagram. So get all the words out because it's about to happen. But I want my body to use the fat for its energy source. So if you can absolutely have wheat in your diet, but it depends upon what you're trying to do. If you're just trying to lose weight, which is perfectly fine, you can have wheat. You just really still need to be at the caloric deficit. But if you're trying to just target body fat, let's say you're trying to do that, like I'm trying to lose body fat, then you're going to have to switch some things up for the short period of time. Like then you need to really limit the carbs. Wheat is a carb that you take in. You really need to deal with maybe some healthier fats to give your body that kind of energy source. So you can use the healthier fats and your body fat to burn as far as energy. So it depends upon kind of what energy source you're giving your body. Because let's say if you're giving your body some decent carbs, then what your body does is it stores up the fats in your body. So your body's burning the carbs. Then eventually after it goes through the carbs, it'll get to the fats. The problem with most people and how we gain weight is we continue to give the body carbs. So the energy source that you're exerting, be it workout, walking, whatever you're doing, when you're giving it carbs, Your body's using that just for their everyday function, be it, talking, walking, sleeping, whatever. You burn calories daily and all that. It just depends upon what energy source your body has to tap into. Our bodies burn carbs as the first energy source. So when you take away the carbs, which is what I've done, then it's forced to say, okay, so now it still needs an energy source. The next energy source is fat. So that's why like keto diets tend to help with like the aesthetics of it all. It helps you kind of burn the fat. But understand the keto diets are not for everybody. So I'm not suggesting you have to go on keto, because the biggest failure of keto is when people get off keto, they go heavy, they go ham on those carbs, and they end up gaining the weight back. So with any kind of weight loss journey, anything you do in reference to this 12 weeks, understand that you still need to maintain or gradually add stuff to your diet after the 12 weeks. That's if you've reached your goal. If you've not reached your goal in 12 weeks, let's add on another 12 weeks. I mean, I'm not doing another 12-week challenge back to back, but I absolutely will be here for the conversation and to be able to help you guys and assist you guys whenever I can. I work out every day, like I said. So if you guys need help with workouts, let me know, and I can kind of give you some advice in reference to that. One of the things also is to make sure, I think we focus so hard on cardio that we don't take a whole lot of time, especially as women, to deal with weights. So like I said, when you have weights, when you're lifting weights, first of all, it helps with bone density. Especially if you're going through menopause and you're dealing with the stomach fat, which is a lot of what happens when we're in the midst of menopause. Actually adding weights to that workout, dealing with your diet, and maybe pulling back on a little bit of your cardio will help tremendously as far as stomach, being able to deal with the stomach fat. Somebody asked me if I would show pictures, kind of myself. And I have the most hideous picture on this page in reference to what I looked like when my weight got out of control, in my opinion. And mind you, even as bad as that picture was, I was probably a size 12. And I say that because I could easily fit into a size 10 at the time, but for me and what my aesthetics were like, that's just way too big for me. For what's going on in my head, it's just too big. So I had to continue to deal with the making sure I'm doing the weights, making sure the carbs are cut out. That's how I dealt with the stomach. I didn't do any crunches, anything like that. I did lift weights, and that's what helps me also burn calories quicker when I straighten up my diet. That at rest, I'm still burning extra calories because I do lift weights. And women are afraid of that for some reason. I think it makes you look younger. I think, I get a lot of questions, not just on visually, that people assume that I look younger. Just when they look at my body, they're just like, I just don't believe you are 55. I'm 55, a minute from 56. But I lift hard, I lift heavy, and I lift often. And I don't think, contrary to the dude that insulted me, that I look like a man at all in reference to my body. But it helps in reference to just keeping things tight. It helps in reference to, like I said, bone density. And it also helps in reference to when you're actually at rest. Like when you're doing cardio, there's probably a 20, 30-minute gap after cardio that your body's still burning, quite a bit of calories, right? And then it just goes to the regular calorie burning. When you lift weights and add it to cardio, it's a much longer period of time that your body is burning more calories. And the more calories, the more weight you lose if you're in a caloric deficit. So that's just food for thought. Okay, so toxic options. Like I said, I just talked about this as far as the toxic eating habits. You really have to find something that you like. My thing is you have to replace it. If you have a habit that is hard to break, replace it with something you like. Okay. I have a habit, wine. Again, I know y'all probably think she's a wino. I really am not, but that is my sweet tooth, right? But I know that every time I drink, and fall asleep or whatever, I'm sleeping on all those extra carbs. So I had to break it. I end up buying like the what is it? It's like that tea. I can't think of the name of it, but there's a tea, green tea. I bought a green tea. It's really great. It's really sweet. It gives me a little fizzy kind of taste, when I take it. And it has substituted my drinking of wine. Wine is my bad habit. So now I drink tea. And tea works. It's sweet. I get the same, feeling in reference to that. Because again, my wine's sweet. It don't give me a buzz, unfortunately. But so it's just the habit. So whatever your habit is, you need to try to find something and put that's healthier in its place. And if it's just eating, like for me, when I get super stressed now, especially when I'm on a weight loss workout journey or whatever, I might even go to the gym. Right now I have a home gym and actually work out, as opposed to go to the refrigerator. Because the end of the day, the refrigerator and the food does not make it better, especially if you're already frustrated that you have gained weight. All it does is make you feel worse. It's a temporary fix. Like, maybe the first 30 minutes of while you're eating, it's like, oh, great. But then you feel bad because you can't fit into clothes. You want to look a certain way or whatever. So I just find, you have to figure out what works for you. For me, I'm a pretty much a gym rat. So the gym works for me, which now it's the home gym. But if something else works as far as cooking, plants, do something in its place when you are stressed. And again, if you're an emotional eater, have good, healthy food. I can't stress that enough, that you have healthy food. So in reference to someone posted that they eat ice cream on a daily and are a stress eater. I'm gonna tell you, and I wish I had this ice cream, but there's an ice cream that I found. It's a keto ice cream, and I don't know if you guys remember those drumsticks, those drumsticks with the little peanuts on top or whatever. So of course I can't eat those when I'm on a diet. They have this keto ice cream that tastes almost exactly like that. It does not taste like diet kind of ice cream. They have different flavors, but I have this one particular flavor that I absolutely love. And unfortunately, I don't have it here, but I promise you when I get off here, I'm going to put it in the description box if you guys want to look it up if you haven't. It is amazing. So when I go on my serious, I'm not playing about this diet thing because I think it has less than a gram of carbs. It's like it really does not taste like diet food. So if I eat something, it can't taste like diet food for me to sustain. Like it has to almost taste like what I'm trying to replace. So I will put that in there. And again, this is not I'm just telling you what works for me and what is great for me. My daughter turned me on to it. And I told her at the time, I was like, I don't like diet ice cream because it doesn't taste like real ice cream. It tastes really fake. She was like, okay, so you're going to try this. You love it. It tastes like your drumsticks. I love drumsticks. So I tried it and oh my God. So I'm going to put that in the description box. If you kind of have a sweet tooth, but you're on keto and you want to keep the carbs low, after this is over, I will put that in the description box because it is absolutely amazing. I'm just saying, I'm going to just talk about that one flavor. I've heard they're all good, but I'm a person that's real simple. And what I like, I don't like, even with the ice cream, I don't venture out past maybe vanilla. I know that's horrible. Maybe cookies and cream or something like that. So I don't venture past that in any kind of ice cream, whether it's, regular ice cream, low fat ice cream, whatever. So this particular bar reminds me of those drumsticks and I love those. So I'm gonna put that out there. But even with that, find some replacements for that. And also let me do deadlift, use weight machine. Okay, so one of the questions, Shinshi asks is, do I deadlift or use weight machines? So I deadlifted when I was in the gym. I still do it like with barbells now at home. But for the most part, I do free weights. The machines are absolutely fine. The problem is, and I talked about this before, Ron and I have moved to a different location and we're like 40 minutes away from the gym. And I hate that because when I tell y'all I'm a gym rat, I'm a gym rat. So now I'm a gym rat at the house, but it's still different because when I'm at the house, I can think of other things I can be doing, taking the dog, I miss my plants or whatever, but I'll force myself to do it. It is so much easier for me to get up and go to a gym, but it's 40 minutes away and I'm not doing that. But in reference to the workouts, And I can maybe show you guys what a workout looks like for me at the house, because I have tons of weights at home, and I'll show you, maybe I'll do a video showing you guys how to do that. But I do lift heavy, and I'm gonna tell you, I lift heavy and I lift often. But I do free weights, and I did do machines a little bit when I was at the gym. I didn't do them often, but I'm not knocking it. I just like to feel like I'm strong. And for me, those free weights to me make me feel stronger than the machine. That's to me. But the machine does a really good job of balancing so you don't hurt yourself. So if you're relatively new to workouts, I'm gonna say the machine is great to start so you don't hurt yourself, because a lot of people they overextend themselves, or they hurt their backs or something of that nature trying to use free weights if they're not used to it. So I do both. Enlightened, yes, that's okay. So somebody put Enlightened in reference to the ice cream. That is the ice cream. That's the brand. So they have a brand of the Enlightened ice cream. I bet y'all are like, okay, she must be crazy about this bar. They have a brand that has like oh my God, it's like vanilla on the inside. It has like a little chocolate on the outside and a little nuts. Y'all, when I tell you, it's so good. Now, right now, because I'm just out, I'm not doing really any, very low fat. I'm doing like the protein fast right now. I don't have it. Like, I don't buy stuff that I can't eat. Bottom line, I don't. So if you have kids, when I used to do that when I had my daughter in the house, but I would buy the stuff that she liked that I was not crazy about, right? I mean, obviously she and I had some things that we both liked together, but for the most part, so I wouldn't just munch on her stuff. I would buy stuff that I knew she liked that I was not as crazy about. So make sure you have stuff at the house that you can eat that's still healthy. You can stay in your caloric deficit. And you can still lose weight, but you're not tempted with that other stuff. Because it takes, like, you really have to be, I'm about to get this, to get your keys. Well, for me, to get my keys, go to the store and buy something that I don't want. I'm not saying that, or that I shouldn't have. I'm not saying that I have not done it, because I have done that before. But I'm going to just tell you, as far as being successful with it, especially like at nighttime. Now, I've very seldom ever done that at night. If I'm in the house at nighttime, I'm pretty much in the house. And that's where a lot of us kind of lose it, is that toward the end of the evening, we might do well all day. And then toward the end of the evening, it's like, I'm gonna just grab this. The problem is you're grabbing whatever you're grabbing that is not as healthy as you should be, and then you're going to sleep. So you're sleeping on all that extra carbs, fat, or whatever it is you're taking in. So I'm gonna just say, don't buy it. It's easier to leave it in the store than have it in the house and have to resist it on a daily basis, okay? So another thing is, people ask me about fruit. I love fruit. I like the sweetest of all fruit, of course. I like pineapples and watermelons and grapes. Grapes have no nutritional value. And I don't say that trying to be ugly, because grapes are my friend. But what fruit will do, and of course, there's certain fruit that are lower in sugar that you can deal with in reference to blueberries, raspberries, things of that nature. But I'm talking about, to me, when I think about fruit, I'm thinking, a pineapple, watermelon, all that other stuff, which is still healthy, but it's still higher in sugar, even if it's a natural sugar. And again, we're trying to get our bodies, the way we want, trying to make our bodies burn the fat, unless you're just going on a weight loss, and if you're just going on a weight loss, not necessarily a fat loss, yes, absolutely. And still, I would say stay away from the sweetie fruit. Get with the more fruit, as far as, like I said, blueberries, raspberries, those berry kind of fruits, those are better for you. So just kind of figure out what you want to do, and then you can kind of work around how you want to do it. But again, the body will burn the sugar first, right? And then if you have fat, it's going to stay stored. I want to force my body to use my fat for energy. And put it in a state of ketosis, which is ultimately what I'm putting my body through. So just kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing and why I'm not necessarily making foods for you to see. And again, I will always be transparent. So once I start cooking again, and again, it'll be after this 10 days. So once I actually start preparing meals again, maybe I'll be able to put the camera in the kitchen so you can kind of see how I actually prepare meals and how I actually do the 3 meals and put them up. So I'll do that at some point during this 12-week weight loss challenge. And speaking of that, you guys, let me know how your weight loss is going. As the last video, I said 7 pounds. Right now, I'm at close to 10-pound weight loss. Yay. And I would say most of that is in my stomach area. It is mostly because I'm forcing my body to use my, again, fat for energy. But what happens with that, and I'm going to just give you a heads up, is you're going to be exhausted for a little while. I'm at the other side of, where I'm starting to get my energy back and I'm starting to feel myself again. But for a little while, if you're doing that, you're going to be exhausted until your body switches to start just burning your fat for energy. Okay. So tell me how you guys are doing as far as the weight loss and what's preventing you from losing the weight. And if you've fallen, and everybody falls, how are we getting back up and going to the next steps as far as, how are we getting back on task? Because that's the goal. Let's get back on task. Again, everybody falls down, but how are we going to do it and get to where we need to go? Because what I really want to do is be able to support you in this. Again, I think if you look good, you feel good, there's so many health benefits in reference to that. And again, just to me, the aesthetics is just the plus as far as the inner health. When I am healthy, I look younger, my hair grows more, it grows faster, my nails grow. I can just tell my skin glows when I'm eating good quality foods. Okay. When I stop doing that, I can tell because I'll get a little breakout on my skin. My hair grows a little slower. My nails break often. So, and that's usually when I'm just not eating the nutritional stuff. And again, if you can take as many veggies as you want, as many healthy proteins as you want, you can do that and actually stay full. You just probably don't want to do it. So let's start working on doing things of that nature. And just if you feel like you have to have something sweet, make it something that's higher in nutrition in reference to sweets. Again, the berries, the Enlightened ice cream, which is amazing, but have something that won't trigger your insulin levels. Because when your insulin levels get higher, you want more carbs and the cycle starts over again. So I also want to talk about breakfast. Breakfast to me sets you up for success or for failure the entire day. If you start off breakfast with, let's say, donuts or sugary cereal, and again, I'm not knocking any of this because everything I name pretty much is stuff that I love. I don't eat it, but it's stuff that I absolutely love. So when I just say I'm just going to go off the rails for a day, then I probably will put that in my diet for a day. But what I will quickly notice is if I have a sugary substance for breakfast, I want stuff all day long, like sugary stuff all day long, right? I want, and even if it's not, my body or my mind is not telling me sugar, it's like carbs. I want some French fries, or I want, it's time to eat again. And I could have just eaten an hour ago. But if I have some breakfast that's, let's say, egg whites or just eggs, not even just egg whites, but eggs or lean bacon or ham or, things of that nature with spinach or something of that nature. And I put tons of, like I said, seasonings on it to make it where it's healthy. But if I have that, I am pretty much set up for the rest of the day to be successful. And another thing, if I work out in the mornings, which is what I do in the mornings, and I know everybody can't do that, it's very seldom if I work out in the mornings and eat a healthy breakfast that I'm going to blow my whole day. Because in my mind, I put in too much work already to blow the whole day and go do a donut. Okay. So it's just kind of food for thought as to what actually happens with the body once you started to moving. And once you start moving in the right direction to really get going, it's kind of easier to, get your body in a healthier position as far as being able to lose weight. So one of the questions was, what is happening during the next 10 days? So for me in the next 10 days, why I said 10 days, and actually it's probably 7 days left, because I had eaten so many. Hey, honey. Okay, so my husband, you want to come here? Say hi real quick.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to sneak a peek in here real quick.
It's a run. We're getting ready to actually leave here to go look for locations for our restaurant. We talked about that. You guys, we get in the restaurant. I go, Val, go Ron. But anyway,
we got some exciting places to go see today, and we're actually going to do a little bit of recording of our journey today, and we'll post that, I guess, sometime this week.
Yeah, on
The
Clay's
locations
journey.
that we've looked at,
Right.
and we're excited. So
We are excited.
but I just
about
wanted to
it.
say I just shaved and all that good stuff. Well, it don't look like I shaved because I got a beard, but you know what I mean. So carry on, Malo.
All right, baby. Anyway, sorry about that, you guys. Anyway, let's see how that makes sense tonight. Yes. So in reference to eating, it really helps if you start off in the morning. And again, I jump up early in the morning, and I'm not recommending that for anybody. You know, everybody has their different kind of plan as far as how they do it, because you have kids, family, husband, all that other stuff. So I jump up early when everybody's sleeping. So I'm gonna say, find the pocket of time that's for you. I'm gonna tell you, if you don't find time or make time for your health will make you make time. So to me, the best way to do it is to find that time. I am blessed. I'm 55, about to be 56, and never had a health issue, a significant health issue in reference to being sick or some things of that nature. Of course, I dealt with issues with job stress and all that other stuff, but I've never had to go to the hospital or have issues of that nature. And I honestly believe, because I do every day find a bit of time for me. And it was a little bit harder when my daughter was at home, but I still found the time and made it work. So find that time to take care of you, because what I find, especially with women, and there might be men on this chat, and I can help you with that too, but whoever you are, if you're not healthy, how can you take care of your families? How can you be the best you for somebody else? So that's what we're doing. It's not selfish to take care of yourself, right? So that's what I want to do in reference to this. But anyway, back to that, someone asked me about the 10 days. The reason I did 10 days, the protein for 10 days, is because I had taken in so many carbs prior to that with relocating again. And, it is so stressful trying to find this location for this restaurant, plans for a house. And you just have no idea what we have on our plate right now. And I want to kind of document that and show all that. But what happened was again, my wine, I started drinking my wine, which made me want more carbs. And for that to stop for me, I got to go cold turkey for it to be successful. And then I could ease myself back into it. Like for me, I can't do it gradually. You know how some people say, well, I'm going to go really low carbs, and then I'll do some, moderate carbs or whatever, and then I'll do some fat and do some protein. If I give my body carbs while I'm already on an insulin high, which is what happens when you take carbs, I just want other things. It's harder for me to do that. So I know how my body works, and I literally have to go cold turkey. Right, like right now, I'm not craving carbs at all. And I have not had carbs in several days. Not craving it at all. Not wine, not bread, none of that. But I have to literally stop taking it in. And then when I finally, go back to, and it'll be after the 12 weeks, but when I go back to, let's say, a reasonable carb diet, or adding carbs into my diet, then I'll just have to moderate kind of how I do that. So I'm not back on the insulin high. It won't be white carbs. It'll be brown rice and, sweet potatoes, those healthier carbs that really don't spike your insulin, like white rice and potatoes and all that other stuff. So that's ultimately what happens. And that's also what happens when we have this, belly fat, and we're holding on to all this fat in our bodies. We're giving our bodies too many carbs, you guys. We just are. That's how people have issues with diabetes, and all that other stuff. My family, and I come from a big family. I'm not talking about numbers. I'm talking about size. We big folk, right? My family has an issue with diabetes. It is because of their eating. It is because of their eating. And I would love to get them there, but they've got to take the journey, because it's not easy, right? And I think they look at me and think, it's easy for you. No, it's not. I struggle every day. And I'm not talking about a hard struggle, but in my head, I struggle, because if I could stay slim and healthy and eat whatever I wanted, I absolutely would, but I can't. And for the most part, unless you got something going on with your health, most people cannot eat everything they want and stay healthy, especially as they get older. You slow down as you get older, and again, you don't have to be bigger because you're older. What happens is you're starting to slow down. And I'm talking about your movements. You're doing less as far as physical activity. You're doing less as far as movements, but you have not changed your diet. So you're burning less calories. you're eating the same amount of calories, if not more. So of course you're gaining weight. So, and most people just say, you know what, that's menopause. I am in menopause right now, and trust that I know, because I'm having a hot flash right now. Trust that I know it is possible to lose weight consistently in the midst of menopause. Okay, but it really does depend upon what you're taking in. Struggles in diet and you have solutions. Okay, so I just talked about the struggles in reference to the diet, that just making sure that I have plenty of food, plenty of healthy food. Yes. Okay. So Sharon, you're absolutely right. Drinking water is key. One of the, and again, I used to be told that water helps you feel full. I've never felt full from water. I'm just telling you. It might be possible. I just never had it. But what happens is, sometimes when you feel like you're hungry, you're really not. You are thirsty. Now that I have had that. Like I can be like, oh, I want something to eat. And actually, I just want to go and, I don't want to go get some water, but I'll go get some water or go get the tea that I was talking about. And I drink it and I feel fine, which means that I just, out of habit, if I'm feeling some kind of way, I automatically think that I'm hungry. And it is changing your mindset. A lot of this is mental. Yes, you might want something to eat, but it's very few of us. If we skip a meal, we're going to starve. There's very few of us that's going to do that. So it is habit that we want something to eat and we want what we want. So I'm going to tell you that to me, weight loss, especially when you're a foodie like me, or you're an emotional eater, or you're going through menopause, or whatever the situation is, weight loss is difficult. I don't make light of it. I absolutely will show you at the end of the 12 weeks what my whole body looks like. And again, I'm going to be just ass out. Just get ready. But because I do have the graphic picture of my whole stomach, I don't want to put too many pictures on there like that, because I tell you, when I open up my YouTube page and I see my stomach, every time I see that picture, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Because it was stupid. And I knew I was doing it when I was doing it. So I will show you pictures, though. Absolutely, you'll get pictures, but I'll kind of walk you through workouts as well. Okay, so as far as where I'm located, we are in, oh my God, we're in such a small hick town right now, y'all. It has nothing to do with weight loss, but I'm gonna tell you, I am determined to make this restaurant successful. We're in a town that's on the outskirts of Austin, Texas. And we had to move here because Ron's job wanted him to be close to the job. And the only reason he is working this particular position, the only reason, is because for us to close on the SBA loan with the restaurants, he had to have like constant money coming in. It didn't matter what we had in the account, right? It didn't matter that we could live off that. They wanted like this regular, stream of income coming in to say that we're not trying to live off the loan, in reference to the restaurant, but so he got this job. So we're in this little hick town, and I really don't like it. So anyway, that's where we are, but the restaurants will be on the outskirts of Austin. The only reason it'll be on the outskirts is Austin taxes are ridiculously high, and they're ridiculously high for no apparent reason other than people want to be in the state capital. So we're doing the outskirts, and we found some really great places that we like, and we're actually looking, like I said, for three other locations after I get off this call today. Just protein and veggies. Okay, so in reference to what am I doing? Am I doing just protein and veggies? Right now, I'm doing just protein, and that is pretty much 90% liquid protein. But again, it's only for the 10 days. And I want to say it is not sustainable long term. I just wanted to break my desire to have the carbs, and I really have. But I told myself that I was going to do 10 days. So I'm going to stick it out just to see if I can do it. But after this, I will go 7 more days left. I will then go to the protein and the veg, like the eating protein and the veggies. I will do a lot of grilling. We bought me a grill, so I'll be outdoors doing a lot of grilling, which I love grilling. Again, you got to love the food that you eat to stay and keep it going. So I'll grill veggies and some good veggies as far as that help move the fat is broccoli. Asparagus is excellent for the stomach fat. I can't think of the name of it, but the stomach fat, asparagus is great for that. What are those little round things? Brussels sprouts. and green beans. Those are, I mean, there's other veggies that are pretty good, but those are excellent veggies for keeping everything moving. Because if you're upping the protein, no matter how you're getting protein, you still needed to move out of, it's spinach, I'm sorry. You still needed to move out of your system, right? We want to keep everything flowing. So that's kind of what I do, and I get large amounts. You can get full on the veggies. It's just not fun to get full on veggies, at least for me, it's not. So I'll do the veggies and do large amounts, and then I'll have, whatever protein I'm going to eat at the time. And yes, I am full, but it's not fun. Sometimes, you want to do like this. I don't know about you, but I want to eat like, I want to do a dance when I eat. So, it is what it is. Let's see. Okay, so I talked about the drinking water. It is important to get the toxins out of your system, to kind of feel, if you've had something to eat, water helps you feel fuller. Water by itself does not make you full, but it'll help you feel fuller. So it's just to give you an idea of how to keep your weight loss journey going. Yeah, and you're right, Shinshi. Spinach, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, green beans, asparagus. You left that one off, but those are amazing. So I'm gonna say that if you have large amounts of that, and again, I would say get large amounts. Like if you are a foodie and you really like a lot of food, get large amounts of veggies. They have very little carbs. The body can't really process those veggies. They're very high in fiber, and they're going to move everything along. So if you fancy it up, however you got to fancy it up, and I don't mean like with butters and things of that nature, but all the seasonings, all the grilling, smoking, whatever you got to do to fancy that up, and then you get some lean meat with that, you can get full off that. You can have multiple. You might get bored because you want to eat what you want to eat, which I understand, but you can get your mind and your body set on, you're feeling full. Because if you walk around feeling hungry all the time, again, it's not a recipe for success, right? But understand that some of this is going to be a struggle. Some of the feeling hunger is just habit. I like to eat, so I'm going to, add extra stuff to my plate. So, and trust me, I have that habit. Anything I talk about from personal experience, right? I don't talk about like to put you down like I don't know, been there, done that, got the card. That's why when at the end of this journey, I have no problem with showing you where I am and what my whole body looks like, because I have worked for it. And my goal is to work for it and keep it. So that's ultimately what I want to do. And then, of course, help you guys to get there. So any other questions in reference to, I'm trying to think anything else anybody asked me in reference to their weight loss journey. So again, I have not seen, have you guys lost weight? I've seen, some people lost 5 pounds. What's stopping you from losing weight, and how can I help? Again, I'm close to 10. My goal at the end of the full 12 weeks is to be about 25, 35 pounds lighter. And I'm not a big person now. However, I still want to be, you can still be an average size and be overweight, right? As far as having too much body fat on you. I just don't like it. The aesthetics, I don't like the look. I want to look healthy. I want to look young all the time. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Second down the journey. Excellent. So I'm going to take, first of all, if you have more weight to lose, that first week or two, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, if you're staying in a caloric deficit, you will probably lose a lot more than people with less weight to lose. Because the further you get along in your journey, the harder it is to drop the weight. Because what actually happens is, your body requires more energy to just move around, just to walk. It requires more energy. So you're burning actually more calories when you are bigger. The problem with people that are bigger is if you take in enough weight to sustain that size, you're overeating, and all of us have done it. And again, I'm not knocking it, right? I'm not talking about it. I'm saying what I know and how to get you to where you need to be. And again, if you have not seen, it takes kind of looking at yourself in the mirror sometimes to understand where you are. And for me, the most graphic thing is to have, let's say a workout top on and some little workout shorts, and take a picture of the front and the back, like nothing in the middle covering, nothing, and actually see yourself. And I would look in the mirror every day and not come to the realization that I am where I am until I see it on pictures. It's not pretty. My goal is to look good naked. It is. So I want to make sure that I am tight, I have the look that I want, and that I'm not covering it with clothes, because it's easy to kind of disguise yourself in clothes too. Perfect example, you cannot ask people that are, let's say, much bigger than you if you need to lose weight, because they are bigger. Their vision is different. So when I was working out all the time, or at the gym all the time, I'm still working out, but I'm not at the gym. I'm at my home gym. When I was with my fit chicks, they'd be like, yeah, you probably need to pull it in a little bit, right? I can go to my family and they go, girl, you're fine. Now, my family's a big folk. They'd be like, you don't need to lose weight. Yeah, I do. But the problem is you do too, right? So it's, misery. I'm not saying they're trying to set me up for failure, but for them, I'm smaller than they are, so I look fine. That does not mean I look fine. You got to get somebody, or get with somebody, or get with a group of people that's where you want to go if you're trying to improve. And that's any place in life, in reference to your finances, or in reference to your weight loss. You don't want to get, let's say, finances. I would not get financial advice from somebody that's in bankruptcy and is struggling to pay their bills, right? I want to go to a Bill Gates and say, tell me how you got there. Okay. So the same thing with being able to stay in shape. I don't know what this lady's name's on YouTube, but I'm not knocking her. Everybody has your story. But she's a nice sized lady, like a nice sized lady. And she clearly gives this advice in reference to weight loss and what she eats. And she's got tons of followers, and, kudos to you. But when I saw that, I'm thinking, she says she's doing the same things. Like, she has not fallen off her diet plan. Like, I'll tell you when I fall off mine, right? But she has not fallen off her diet plan. So my thing is, if the diet plan you're giving is the same diet plan that's allowed you to be this much overweight, because she's a bigger lady, then why am I following you? Real sweet. So I probably would follow her just because she's a sweet lady, but I don't know if I follow her on weight loss. I might follow her on the fact that she has a beautiful personality. So I'm going to just say, when you get around people and you ask for advice as far as weights or finances or whatever the situation is, weight loss, make sure they have some knowledge. And sometimes just because you have some knowledge don't mean you're doing it yourself. I mean, when I'm drinking my wine, I have tons of knowledge. I've studied it. I know it. That don't mean I'll stop drinking my wine. But I will at least tell you that. I won't say, yes, I'm following my plan and this works, but I'm bigger. No, I'll say, yes, this works, but right now I'm drinking wine, so I'm not really following the plan, if that makes sense. So just kind of, when you get information, have some discernment. That's why I don't give blanket plans out to anybody. And I want to talk you through it, and it'll be more of a one-on-one, but I definitely will give you some tips that will help anybody lose weight if they stick to the tips, if that makes sense. Okay, so okay, so Kingston. Yes, it is really hard not to overeat. So let me give you a tip in reference to when you go out. What I found, if I'm going to a place that I know I love the food, I will eat something, small something, that'll kind of throw my appetite off before I get there. So I won't overeat. Now, again, just like I don't bring unhealthy foods into the house, I'm not going to go to some place that I know I'm going to get the fattiest of foods while I'm on this diet thing. But on the same token, if I am being really strict about my diet, I might give myself a day, and like a cheat meal, cheat day, that kind of thing, to actually eat what I want. Now, I'm not going to go so far overboard, but I might give myself a cheat day. I'm like, okay, so Val, you done well for a month. You have one cheat day, have at it, because one day is not going to throw me off. So to me, if you're going, let's say you have a nice restaurant that you like, that's fine every now and then. It's a problem when it's often, right? Consistency with this is the key. It is so frustrating to do all this work and then lose it, right? To do all this, getting in shape, minus food or whatever, and not sticking to it. But even with that, if you don't stick to it, again, we can talk about it, and don't be so hard on yourself. It is hard to change eating habits. You have to actively do it every day. And to me, the best way to do that is to have that healthy food at the house, have it cooked and ready. I don't even want it healthy in the freezer, right? As far as uncooked. So I put the containers in the freezer. I can put them in the microwave. They're ready to go. I need some food I can put them in my mouth fast that I like the taste of. Okay. So that's really the best advice I can give you in reference to that. as far as the exercise and picking up weights, that just adds to your caloric deficit. Okay, it's absolutely good for being healthy, but it does add to your caloric deficit, so you can continue to lose weight, or you can make the weight loss progress a little bit faster. So are there any other questions for me? And again, I don't want to spend a lot of time just kind of lecturing. I want you guys to ask me, things. Again, I've been dealing with helping people lose weight for, I would say, close to 15, 20 years, something like that. And been up and down myself. And again, I told you when I'm down, it's usually not really about eating. It is, as far as eating food, it's literally about, drinking substances that are way too sweet and that cause my body to hold on to the body fat, hence my wine. And man, if it was just regular wine, I'd be fine. Mine is that darn Moscato. Y'all know that sugar. So that is my weakness, because it's just like, oh, this is sweet and it makes me giggle. So that is my weakness. So I can't have it in the house. Let's see. Best exercise for body fat and jiggling arms. Okay, so one of the questions is best exercise for body fat and jiggling arms. Yeah, here's the deal. You can't spot reduce body fat. You cannot. I can tell you exercises to tone your whole body, but if you have a layer of fat around it, you're not going to see the tone. That's why when people do, 1,000 crunches, and again, I talked about this, I think before, I had a friend that would do like 1,000 crunches a day. Her stomach, she looked like she had 3 of them, like as far as her stomach size. I kept telling her, your energy needs to be spent, first of all, on your diet. Secondly, on lifting weights. So when you actually are at rest, you're burning more calories. And on some cardio. Crunches by themselves, she might have had a 6-pack, but you could not see it because of the stomach, because of the fat over the stomach. So that would be the same thing with the jiggly arms. Like my arms don't just, see, y'all about to see some muscle in a minute, baby. I'm about to make this happen for sure. But anyway, so the arm thing, this is because you have too much body fat, right? And you can't spot reduce body fat. So I'm going to say you're going to have to target your body fat. Same thing with the stomach. You can't target body fat. Once you start dealing with the body fat, it comes off where it comes off. And I know that's frustrating. Yes, I can give you exercises to tone, but you're not going to see the tone if you haven't dealt with the fat. Okay. But if you still want exercises in reference to tone, I can give you exercises. I just want to be honest, when you do all these exercises and you don't see anything different, if you haven't dealt with the fat, you understand that I told you that, you're going to have to. So because I do lift, what you'll see is when I cut down my fat, I'll start looking more muscular. And I don't mean man muscular, but just kind of more muscular, more toned. What has actually happened is I'm stripping off the fat so you see the muscle. That muscle was probably already there because I've been lifting the whole time, but you don't see it because it's covered with fat. And yes, I don't have a lot now, but I can't say I've not had a lot of fat. So we're going to have to deal with the body fat. Lift, absolutely. It is healthy for you. It helps with your bone density, especially if you're getting older, but it's not going to make these arms go away until you deal with the fat, which is the diet, the hard part. That's not the fun part, but that's the part you have to deal with if you're going for the look that you want. Tighten the skin after weight loss. Okay, so let me tell you about weight loss. Okay, so I don't know and I probably could do a whole video on this, but in reference to, have you guys heard of autophagy, right? Okay, so autophagy is, and I have it, it's a real different kind of spelling, but anyway, what autophagy actually is it's the keeping away calories in reference to the body to make the body eat cells and kind of eat on itself, right? It's like the body eating itself, like the same way it does with fat. So if you go long periods of time without eating, let's say, and I think to go into autophagy, get your body in a state of autophagy, it's almost like intermittent fasting, but it's longer. But let's say if you go 72 hours without eating, what the body does, and I'm not suggesting do it, but I'm gonna just tell you what happens as far as the skin, and what I do when I just really want to deal with, let's say, loose skin. I really don't have it on my face or on my body. If I had loose skin anywhere, it's usually right at the stomach area after I've, let my stomach get out of hand, and then I'm coming back to, autophagy. You're right. So it's in the chat on how to spell autophagy. That's exactly what it is. So there's a lot of health benefits to autophagy, but autophagy actually, it helps with, they've been done studies in reference to it helping with cancer, and in reference to it helping with diseases. It's actually destroying like unhealthy cells. And the reason I talk about autophagy is when you talk about the skin, it destroys those cells as well. So, and again, it's not going to happen overnight. If you want to do skin surgery and all that other stuff, I'm not knocking anything that makes you feel good, but I'm saying in reference to the ones of us, I'm not doing that. So, but I want my skin to be tight. So I will go through periods, I put my body through periods. For me, it's 72 hours of autophagy where it's just, the cells are rejuvenating, and, they're eating themselves, obviously. So it's like a 3-day fast maybe, but they're eating themselves. So my skin is tightening up. So I don't have issues with that loose skin. So if you'd like me to have a real detail, it's so much to autophagy, but if you'd like to have me to have a detailed discussion on autophagy, and I know that's not everybody's story, because that is really hard to get through, but I absolutely will. But in reference to the question, Carol asked me in reference to tightening up the skin, that's what I do. I put my body in a state of autophagy so my skin can tighten up, and it absolutely does. I don't know anybody, honestly, unless when I'm bigger, this happens. But for the most part, when I'm fit, or even now, and I'm not as fit as I want to be, people assume that I'm a lot younger than I am simply because my skin is tight, right? And I purposely go through autophagy to make sure that my skin stays tight when I do these things. So in reference to surgery, to me, there's no problem with surgery. Surgery has saved a lot of people. The problem is you still got to get your mind right about food, because you can go through surgery, come out of surgery, and gain that weight right back if you have not dealt with your diet. And I know that's the thing that a lot of people want to bypass. But if you have not dealt with your eating, you can have surgery and then gain all that weight right back. So it's just food for thought in reference to diets. It is not easy. It can be done. And I'm gonna tell you, for me, once I get my body out of wanting carbs, it becomes easier. Like right now, today, it's easy, right? The first 2 days I was dealing with it, it wasn't hard, but I always thought about food. Like literally, I'm being honest. I thought about it all day, and I knew I wasn't hungry all day, but I thought about it all day. But now that I've cut it out, and that's what works for me. So you got to find out what works for you so you can stick with it. So you guys have any other questions in reference to the plan? Please tell me how much weight you've lost. And if not in the chat, you can tell me in the comments for how much weight you've lost, what you want to do in reference to getting your weight back together, and have a goal. And again, I think the hardest thing to do is say, okay, so I want to lose 45 pounds. That is a lot and a big number. I'm going to just tell you what works for me. Honestly, for me, it's like this week, how much do I want to lose? Is it a pound? Is it 2 pounds? Whatever. If I'm going for 2 pounds, then that's, I'm hitting it hard, right? This week for that 2 pounds. And then on Sunday, because Sunday is always my day of reset. So on Sunday, if I hit that 2 pounds, then I say, okay, so I can go for another 2. Or I could have done better. I can make it another 3. So my mind is not thrown off in reference to 45 pounds. I'll be on a diet forever. So that's kind of how I do it. I just take little bits at a time to get to where I need to get to. And honestly, I fall. If life gets way, way, way too hard, and I haven't, we moved and I haven't stocked up the refrigerator full of stuff, I'm gonna go get me some Moscato. It is what it is. But the next day, I'm gonna get back up and say, you know what, I need that. And that's my bad habit, right? But now I have my wine. Oh my God, I've been talking about it too much. I have my tea that I can grab and keep going. So have something that when life happens, because you know what's going to happen, that you can quickly pick up and it won't make you feel bad. Because what makes me feel bad is when I know this was just an impulse urge, right? And I drunk this, and I'm in the same situation that I was before I had it. Or I ate this and I was in the same situation that I was before I ate it. And then I feel bad. And then then it becomes that ongoing kind of cycle. if you fall and get back up, trust me, this is a no judgment zone. It absolutely is. I don't care how much weight you have to lose. I'm saying do something, move and get there. It's one step at a time, 1 pound at a time. That's all anybody can lose. I don't care if you have 2 pounds or 300 pounds to lose. You can only lose one at a time. So why overwhelm yourself? Just keep going. Okay. So that is pretty much all I have, you guys. Oh, excellent on the 30-pound loss, Marco. That is excellent. Good for you. So, that's exciting. So, and let's talk about that. Let's see, diagnosis. Let me finish reading this before I get off. Excellent. So people do fall, in reference to COVID took a lot of people out. You saw my stomach. My stomach just was ridiculous. But people do fall. So when you fall, you just get back up. Life it's not over till it's over, right? So you get back up and you keep going. You keep progressing. And I'm here for it. Again, I'm here to talk you through it. I don't want to just keep you guys because I do have tons of information, but I need you to tell me what you need to know. But anyway, I'm going to end this because I got to find me a restaurant, but in reference to a restaurant that we're going to get built out, not to eat. But I'm going to go. If there's anything I can do to assist you, absolutely let me know. I will be back next Saturday. I'm supposed to visit my sorority sisters. If that still works, I will be there and I'll have to do like a regular video for this Saturday. But what has happened is my daughter's starting to dilate. And if she dilates, she goes to the doctor Monday. If she is dilated, I ain't going nowhere. I will be right here because this will be my first grandbaby and I cannot leave her. So it just depends on where she is. But I will let you guys know one way or the other regardless. And I will definitely keep in touch. If you have any questions, let me know. Y'all can always reach out to me. And sometimes I get a lot of comments. I try to look through them all. I try my best to look through them all. But if I miss something, trust me, blame it on my head and on my heart. You can just shoot me another question and I will do my best to answer it. But that's all I got, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. And I will see you on the next one.